everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm really sorry about the gap that existed between my first video and this second video. I had one or two, should I say, constraints and unforeseen circumstances, but I've been able to resolve it now, and I'm grateful that I can still meet up with expectations. So it's not going to happen again by God's grace. Today we're going to be talking about demand and supply. But we're going to divide it into three. We're going to talk about demand first. We're going to talk about supply, and then the interaction that exists between demand and supply. What is demand? Today we're just going to be treating demand, the laws of demand, the laws of demand, and the types of demand. So let's jump right to demand. What is demand? Demand is simply the quantity of goods and services that a consumer is willing to purchase at a particular time and given a particular amount. Now, if you really want to buy something but you can't afford it at that particular time, then it is just a mere desire. That is the difference between demand and desire. As far as you can afford it and you are willing to pay for it at that particular time, it is demand. So demand must be backed up with the willingness to pay for that particular product at that particular time. Now, the laws of demand. There are two major principles that guide the laws of demand. Number one is that the higher the demand or the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. And the lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. However, remember that laws have exceptions. Every law in this world have an exception. The law of gravity, what goes up must surely come down. It has an exception. That is why we are seeing the aeroplane. So every law has an exception. Now there are some goods that exist. There are some economic goods that exist that does not follow the law of demand. It is abnormal demand. Those goods, they are called ostentatious goods. First of all, you must understand that there are different types of goods. There are the necessities. There is Giffen Goods. There are ostentatious goods. There are inferior goods, although this one is type of inferior good. Inferior goods. There are luxury goods, and there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them. Necessity good, they are the kind of good that no matter the price, demand remains stable. People always need it. For instance, fuel. Even if they increase fuel to 1,000, people will still drive their cars. People will still own their gen. You understand? It's a necessity. The only thing you can do is to complain. This one, demand is stable. Giffen Goods. Okay, there are different types of Giffen Goods. Let's go straight to ostentatious goods. For instance, ostentatious goods are goods that when their prices drop or when you see that the price is low, you will be afraid to buy it. Because you might tell that thing is fake or that thing is original. For instance, gold. You can't tell me that I can't want to buy gold now. You tell me that this chain is 15 naira. I will not buy it because I know that tomorrow the chain is going to wash and turn to black. If possible, injure my neck. If possible. The other time I was browsing Jumia and I saw bone straight. I was like, bone straight. I was just like feeding my eyes. I was like, bone straight. I saw bone straight 2.5. I said, go forbid, it's not my portion. Bone straight, and you're telling me that it's 400 and something thousand. You're telling me it's 2.5. I saw another one, bone straight 40,000. Hey, God forbid. You'll not be seeing what I ordered versus what I got. So there are some goods that we run away from them when they are cheap. When the price fall, you run away from them. But inferior goods are that one. It has a way to work with your income. For instance, people that are poor, there are certain goods that they consume. For instance, a poor man can never lack garri in his house. Why will you see a poor man lacking Gary in his house? He earns 10,000 naira a month and he does not have Gary in his house. Then what does he want to eat? But you will discover that the moment his income increases from 10,000 naira to 100,000, he will no longer be buying Gary. In fact, he will even be telling you that Gary is not good for his health. Gary is not good for his eyes. That one, the higher the income, the lower the quantity demanded. So then luxury goods, there are different kinds of goods in economics, but this is the basic law of demand. The higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded, and the lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. Now let's go straight to types of demand. There are different types of demand, so many types of demand. Number one, we start with joint demand. Joint demand is simply the demand that arises as a result of the demand of another product. For instance, anybody that buys car will must surely have a business in the filling station. They go together. Anybody that buys car, the person must surely have a business in the filling station. You can't buy car and not buy fuel. Anybody that buys generator must have a business buying fuel. Even if you hate filling station, you will beg someone to help you to go and buy it. It's a joint demand. That's why you discover that when the demand for one drops, the demand for the other one automatically drops because people are not buying one, people are not buying the other one. That's joint demand. Then the second one, let's move to substitute demand. In joint demand, the demand for fuel increases when the demand for cars increase. So if you discover that 20 people bought cars in this community this week, you will discover that 20 extra cars will also demand for fuel in the filling station this week. So if the price of cars go up and people stop buying cars, automatically people will reduce the purchase of fuel. Even if fuel price come down, they'll not be buying it like that because the price of car has gone up. Now if we go to substitute goods, let's work with Coke and Pepsi. For instance, what is Coke? Coke is a Coke, a drink you drink. So if the price of Coke increases, you will discover that people will start running to Pepsi. In fact, that's when they will even be telling you that Coke is too sugary, that doctors say that Coke is not good for their health. They will start running to Pepsi. So the demand for Pepsi increase as a result of the increase in the price of this one. Increase in the price of Coke led to the increase in the demand for Pepsi. So substitute demand. Okay, let's go to the next one. Composite demand. Composite demand is a demand for a product simply because you can use to produce a lot of other goods. You understand? Composite demand is a demand for a product, like maybe because you can use to produce other goods. For instance, now I like palm oil because I can use palm oil to make groundnut oil. So I'm going to demand for one particular product. Or for instance, now I'm demanding for flour. I know that when I get flour, I can produce bread, I can produce biscuits, I can produce indomie, I can produce many other things. So that is why the demand for flour is very high. For instance, there's another one, complementary demand. So the next is complementary demand. When I explain this one, you're going to question this one and this one, but I'm going to explain all of them. Now, complementary demand is a demand that, should I say, goes hand in hand with another demand that complements each other. For instance, you buy Bible and Bible cover, phone and screen guard, Bible and Bible cover, phone and phone cases, phone and pouch. You understand? You buy the two, they complement each other. You understand? So as long as phone is in production, Bible covers will be in production. Sorry, phone cases will be in production. As long as Bible is in production, Bible covers will be in production. But the difference between complementary demand and joint demand is that joint demand, you need the two of them to achieve one result. I can actually use my Bible without Bible cover. I can actually use my phone without phone case or screen guard. But joint demand, you can't achieve anything with only one. You must demand for the two of them. Even if you don't have the money to buy the other one, you have to borrow money or beg, look for who you are going to beg to give you to borrow the money so I can achieve it. Because your car cannot work without fuel. And you can't just buy fuel and keep it on the table. Do you want to drink it? So the difference between complementary demand and joint demand is that complementary demand, you have to demand for the other one just to complement the first one you already demanded for. It's not a must, but it helps. Why joint demand? You need the two products to work together. Like you need both the two of them to work together. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So there are different kinds and types of demand, but we are going to have to stop here today so that in our next video we will complete this and then also move on to elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand. So in our next video, come with your calculator and come with your notepad, because there's going to be small mathematics in this part. And if you know anybody that is struggling with economics, mathematics, or someone that is just starting their economic journey, please tell the person to come so that I can answer all their questions. Thank you and God bless.